In mid-June, I had an epiphany while I was at work. Despite my nearly 100 foodie adventures since launching my blog, I realized I hadn't really dedicated any culinary expeditions to the numerous bakeries around Metro Detroit. As foodie luck would have it, a quick Google search would immediately reveal to me my next foodie destination, Culinary Combo Bakery in Southfield. I was excited to check out this bakery and learn more about the mother and daughter duo who run the business. I walked in and was warmly greeted by co-owners Jody Polk, the mom, and Jessica Barris, the daughter. I chatted for several minutes with Jody and Jessica, learning about their daily specials, crowd favorites, and facets of their business. The mother and daughter duo were extremely nice and helpful, even explaining some of the desserts to me that I wasn't initially familiar with, which was greatly appreciated. I decided to arrange a follow-up adventure so that I could come back to interview Jody and Jessica and learn more about Culinary Combo Bakery's origin story. Fast forward several weeks and I was walking back into Culinary Combo Bakery during the early morning hours of Saturday, July 12th. I checked back in with Jody and Jessica, eager to learn more about the beginnings of their bakery. It all started years ago when Jody enrolled in culinary school in 1986, where she met her husband, Jim Polk. Jody and Jim, who was also a chef at a local restaurant, decided to launch a catering company called Culinary Combo in 1989 as a side hustle. The catering company operated out of the Polk household for several decades, until a sudden and unexpected health diagnosis came to light.
We did well. We didn't have a brick and mortar, but we did well. And then almost 7 years ago, my husband Jim was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he died a month later. So that was the end of the combo. For me, it was the end of the Culinary Combo, and I didn't really know what I was going to do at the age of 54.
After trying to adjust to the unthinkable, several family members stepped in to help support Jody and guide her to her next chapter.
I needed a job, and my kids were married and hit their careers. But I needed a job, and I have two sets of cousins that came to me and said, "We want you to have a bakery. We want you to have your own place," and they afforded me that opportunity. Jessica decided to join me, become my business partner, and it'll be 5 years in October that we open Culinary Combo Bakery.
With a new culinary combo born, Jody and Jessica got to work on learning the needs and wants of their customers at their Southfield shop. Jody says she and Jessica get a lot of inspiration from magazines, social media trends, and seasonal recipes.
I get bored, so I'm constantly
typing recipes,
coming up with things, inventing things. I may see something that on a trip or just in a store, and I just kind of play around with it, or Jessica's the same way.
Yeah.
So a lot of social media. I still have subscriptions to all the food magazines that are left to have. I'm a big recipe collector and a big cookbook collector, so I'm always trying to come up with the next thing.
I turned my attention to Jessica, who should be up for a Daughter of the Year award and is quite the inspiration as well. Jessica left her career job to work with her mom once the bakery began to take shape, helping prep and bake all the various goodies, organizing gift basket orders, as well as handling photography of the products and social media elements.
When my dad died, I didn't want to let the business die, and I knew that it would be quite a feat to do by herself, and that she needed someone, and who better than me, whether you wanted me or not. But I definitely enjoy baking. I like it a lot more than cooking. I can't do nearly what she does, but I have definitely learned a lot over the years. So yeah, I mean, it's just always been there my whole life. So I just joined on.
As Jessica adapted and learned more tricks of the baking trade for her mom over the years, she adjusted to the earlier work hours and taking customer orders after hours, even though she says some OG customers will still call and ask to speak to or exclusively order from her mom. But Jessica takes it all in stride, saying she's happy just to be working alongside her mother and bringing joy to their customers.
I love when people come in with their kids and their kids are like, wow, look at this stuff. Like the pure joy on their face. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It just to make someone happy with a cookie.
Right.
You know, like that just really, you know, when you see someone be happy because of something you made, you can't help but be happy.
My final question to Jody was asking what she thought Jim would say if he could see how Culinary Combo has evolved and to see his daughter working alongside and supporting her mother.
Jim and I always said we didn't want our children to go into this kind of business just because of the hours, the holidays. He worked incredible hours, long, incredible hours. He had to miss a lot of family functions. So the fact that she's in the business he would be blown away by that. You know, I often wonder like what you would think of this whole thing. As I get emotional, he'd definitely be proud of us, for sure. We're very lucky. This place kind of saved me. I was in a bad place, in shock that my husband died. My whole world changed, and that's why I'm willing to put in the hours and the time to make this place work. It's not easy. The economy's not so great right now, and you know, we're kind of a hidden gem, so it's a challenge, but you know, we're in it to make it work, and we hope it does.
You could tell a lot of these sweets and baked goods were made through an intricate process that could only be described as a labor of love. When someone has perfected a craft for decades to the extent that Jody Polk has, the proof is simply in the pudding, or in this case, the scones or Samoas. Jody and her daughter are creating some amazing products and offering wonderful services for their customers, including lavish gift baskets, sweet and savory items, special orders, and catering. I also think it's wonderful what Culinary Combo Bakery has become for Jody, a 30-year dream personified into a brick and mortar that became Jody's next chapter following the passing of her husband, Jim. And while the future remains uncertain for many restaurants, bakeries, and other small businesses in this economy, one thing is certain for Culinary Combo Bakery. This hidden gem is worth the trip off the beaten path for some truly remarkable baked goods made by some genuinely wonderful people. For more information about Culinary Combo Bakery and the phenomenal baked goods I enjoyed, read my full story below.